Dang. All right, let's do this. What's good, y'all? It's your boy, Finish the Rest. All right, y'all. I've been meaning to make this video for like 3 to 4 months now, just because I've just been unsure about when the right time was, but I think it's um yeah, this video is exactly what the title is. I'm 24 and I have no friends, and something else I probably added, but that should be the video title. If it's not, then click off false advertising. But yeah, um, sorry, it's kind of hard. I barely talk, so it's hard for me to like formulate words when I don't even talk outside of like work. So yeah, like name is Victor Onasanya, also known as Shay Onasanya. Yeah, this video is exactly what it is. 24. I don't believe that I have friends in the sense of like a young term word, and yeah, and I'm chilling. Anyways, I'm just gonna give you guys a breakdown of why this is my reality and how this came to pass. And it all stems from 2025. 2025 started like every other year, just like a regular year. I always got to start in church. Um, giving thanks to God for a new year. But yeah, I started early 2025. I would say I was closer with a lot of people, closer with family, closer with a relationship. I was in a relationship for like about year and a half at that point. Um, and yeah, things were decent. I'm not perfect, but decent, good. 2024 is a really good year for me, so that was good. That was good. Plus, but yeah, coming to 2025, I think that's when everything shifted. I came to the year kind of like in a weird state of mind, not really knowing what was next for me in the sense of like a spiritual slash like next aspect of life. Like, the heck is next? I didn't know, and kind of lost. Um, and that led to me like trying things out. I started a hobby near the end of last year, 2024, of photography, and I really liked it. It was kind of fun. It was a good way for me to be expressive and creative, and I kind of went like full in on it. I invested a lot of money, bought like expensive camera, bought um gear, lenses, stuff like that. And I was planning to take the leap this year doing photography. But yeah, so I started doing photography. Ended up um trying to make that like a business venture, and that leads to me having to hit people up, make trying to make moves, collab with people, especially when you're starting out. Um, and yeah, I think the whole scope of me doing photography, a lot of things in my life suffered. Um, I I started having less time for most people in my life, family, girlfriend, even myself most of the time. But I was so obsessed with the vision and the reality of trying to make, photography like a thing. Especially like, I feel like I had talent. Maybe just I have money to spend. But no. That's what I started doing. Um and you know, it didn't help that like most people I work with are women, female models, and you know, my girlfriend at the time wasn't really, biggest fan of that. Not in the sense of like, you know, I'm doing anything, just the sense of like, women have to take that in consideration. But I was kind of like strong headed, strong willed, and trying to do things my way. And if yeah, I learned some lessons from that. Anyways, 2025 ends up in me going through a lot of issues with just personal life stuff, personal relationships. Ended up like probably like March or April, breaking off my relationship just because I felt like I need to focus on myself. Just because I felt like I needed to put myself in my own consideration. Felt like I was invincible at that time period. Feel like I didn't really need people. Felt like I needed to be single. Um, which is, it could be true, could be not true. I don't know. I just made the decision, especially based on like the trajectory of my relationship. Now I could have been better, or we could have been better, but like just things like that happen, and just, you know, I guess I didn't have to fight, but it led to me being single around that time. And when I was single, I was, I think I was like, I wasn't, I didn't feel anything, like when I broke off my relationship for like 1.5 years, like that one was leading closer to marriage, because of just that connection that we had. And I felt like that's the only way that it could lead down to. But we had a lot of issues, a lot of red flags that were not dealt with, and probably for the best, because I can handle a breakup in a relationship, but I can't imagine a divorce, dude. Like me. Anyway, so yeah, that happened, and I from there on, I don't think I took time to like really like think through what occurred and how to get better and take some time to heal. No, I think I just went full on. I think photography really was like the main distraction, taking parts of my time. So, and also like stuff that happened along the way. Either me just trying to talk to women and stuff like that, and not like being in to talk to women, but like just like I would have somebody I'll have somebody I could like chat to, or what, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't even know myself. But yeah, like I don't think I took time to really like go over like the things of how things really ended. The way I had a generalized thought process, but you can never look really within of how things really deconstructed. That took some time. So yeah, that was around like March, April. Went on a whole spree of just like losing myself. Um, uh, talked to a girl from work. And that was a bad thing because I kind of started liking that girl, but it didn't work out. Um, kind of chose some guy she used to go to college with, and I didn't like that because like it was kind of like I was rebounding off of her, and she was rebounding off of me, but like she rebounded back, So I was like, damn, bro, you gonna rebound away from me, bro? That's kind of lame, bro. What the heck? Anyways, um, and yeah, that was a whole fiasco. I was just kind of lost. Didn't really know what was going on. And then yeah, that's how years kind of went. I started to like just be consumed with distracting myself from like what was really going on inside of my life. Spiritually, I felt like I was the most distant away from God as I ever did in the last like year or two. I had to rebuild the foundation of my relationship with God from the ground up. um Definitely feel like I fell away. I fell back into lust, fell back into pornography, masturbation, fell back into a lot of things that I thought I had, by the strength of God, the dominion over. And I guess in my state of shock and confusion, not knowing what's going on, I kind of like allow that to take over again, and yeah, that that really messed me up. Now, all my life, what I've taken time to like analyze my being is that like I've felt pretty um I'm gonna use the word unwanted, but I've never felt like at home with a specific group of people or person or things like that. I just always felt like always away, always forced to be like alone, or never really fully content where I was when it comes to relationships with people, or just didn't feel like I didn't belong, pretty much. Um and you know it gets a lot worse when you're a single guy living in a different state, and you're away from everybody that you might have ever known, every family member and stuff like that. And I'm just surviving out here. You know, I didn't really feel the that aspect of life until I got single, and I was like, oh shoot, it's really just me out here now. Keep in mind, I have like people I know like in work and stuff like that, and also um some other people maybe from like church or something. But like I'm talking about like a real like friendship, like a real connection. Like I can depend on you. Like we're taught we have a certain like deep connection with one another and stuff like that. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I just feel like I felt that for the first time. They know how to really deal with it. Yeah, I don't even know where this video is going. If anybody's watching, I'm making this stuff at this point. So yeah, so so summertime. What even happened this summertime? Oh yeah, I took my mom to Costa Rica. Didn't really have a good time. My birthday, took celebrated birthday out in Costa Rica, but like um, I felt like I go and do things a lot by myself because I don't know, like I don't really feel like I have like people who are genuinely happy for like me being in their life. Maybe it's my problem. Maybe it's always my fault. Maybe I'm just not um a good person, good guy. I don't know. I just felt like you know I would just ever since God gave me you know the grace and the ability to support myself financially. Um, I can do things for myself. So I took my mom on a trip to Costa Rica. She's never really like been there or like any type of like actual vacation. So it was nice to do that. Now it wasn't like rosy, definitely um kind of like gotten certain smidge arguments out there with her, but wasn't all the worst experience. Just yeah, that was nice. I feel like I had to do it because I had to like I hate I hated growing up not ever being celebrated for anything. I feel like a lot of my social anxieties come with the fact that I felt like I was never appreciated as a person. And maybe that leads to me living this like loner lifestyle where I feel like I will never be enough for like human beings or people just generally don't care or like me, right? Um, Even though I don't know, maybe that's guys. Please bear with me, Lord. Please bear. Um, yeah. So, um, growing up in college, um, I had a certain group of friends. I was in different friend groups that I was kind of involved with. When I gave my life to God, I lost a lot of those friends. I lost a lot of those relationships that I built up for years just because, I was kind of immature of how to deal with like trying to switch over to like a different lifestyle than what they were still living in and slash accustomed to. And I just didn't know how to be mature about expressing that. Um, so yeah, I lost a lot of people. Um, And then, but I didn't really feel the side effects of that because I was in a relationship, and when in a relationship, you don't really need to talk to anybody but your significant other because, yeah, because that's mainly who you're talking to most of the time. You don't really feel anything. But I think when I got really single, I was like, damn, I really feel that joy now. But yeah, so after May went vacation with my mother, came back, got back into photography. Still, you know, I was still living in my old apartment, and I was planning on moving out. Um, yeah. Bottom line is, guys, is like I've just been living in a solitude state of life for like about like I'm talking about real solitude, like 6 months or something. like, other than going to church and work and other events or responsibility places that I have to be in, I rarely talk to people. I really stay in my apartment all day. Really just stay in my apartment and just exist. Now I went to a conference today that was about like, singles, Christians, what are you doing while you're waiting, your appointed spouse that God will bring. And it was nice, learned a lot over there, took some time, sacrificed, my own time to actually go learn something. And it's gonna be beneficial for my well being. I realize now that like I have to mature like as a human being. Um I have to really, really take the steps needed to like, you know, ground myself in who I really am. For a long time, like I really just don't know. I just did English. I just didn't really know who I was, and I'm still trying to learn. I think I try to distract myself from the constant, pains that I go through. Not saying like my life is horrible or anything, but like I definitely deal and battle with a sense of loneliness. But I take it on the chin. I don't really show it, but yeah, I can honestly say I do. I'm the most happiest when I'm around people that genuinely care about me and love me, but I just don't feel like I have that. Um, just I'm just here. 24. I think right now, my old college is having like a what is it, homecoming event that they do. People are come back to do what they got to do, but I'm here chilling. Not saying I couldn't have went, but like, what is there for me to do over there? I don't party, I don't drink, I don't smoke, and I don't really want to see most of the people because like, what is there? What is the need, right? Um, I'm really into trying to live a life that is in most aspects holy. Um, not saying I'm perfect, but yeah, in most aspects holy. I just feel like I can't go back to that lifestyle, which I so badly hated even when I was there. And at least to the main thing of this video. Like I really feel like trying to live in a way that God wants for me, like holy, it creates a lot of alienation from people my and my age range, and or maybe that's just based on my inability to meet people with likewise like um values and life um life values. So yeah, just so that leads to me not being able to you know hang out and do what people my age do. I'm like, yeah, like I said, I'm 24. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't think I'm the smartest guy around. I don't think I'm the most intelligent person around. I'm just trying to do my best, and you know I'm just patiently being patient. Try not to take things into my hand because I tried trying to take things into my hand this year, and it was not the best decision. I made a lot of mistakes, made a lot of regrettable mistakes that like I'm now paying the price for. You can never do anything without paying the price. There's always a reward system. You can't escape judgment. In any shape or form. God can grant judgment. Um, from like how things supposed to go will come to you God's grace will help you through any judgment. But yeah, main aspect of this video is like, yeah, this is why I'm 24. I don't think I have like friends. Yeah, like my phone. The only person that will probably call me, I'll probably hear from often is probably my mother and who just my mom, and that's about it. Maybe my dad. That's about it. So yeah, it's just me. I don't know who might watch this video. I don't know who cares about this video, but hope you learn something. Anyway, I'm gonna start doing videos like this again. I think it's good therapy for me. Because when you don't have anybody to talk to, you can just bring it out. And I definitely want to work the way I am able to dictate my words and my sayings. I want to learn. I want to work on the way I, talk, the way I present myself. It's definitely plan. That's definitely what I. Thank you guys for watching. God bless you. Yeah. I hope my mom is not. All right, bye guys.